Hello and welcome to the 5-0 podcast, your number one podcast for the Smash CPU Ultimate Draft League. I am MaxSchersey and I am joined by Mike. Mike,
Hello.
this is the 2025 season preview pod. I just flew back from PAX East in Boston this morning, so I'm tired. If you hear me sniffling or anything like that, I'm kind of sleep deprived right now. But I could not miss getting back into this 5-0. So here I am.
Yeah, it's it's already been almost 2 months since we did the last episode. Uh,
Crazy.
I know it's crazy because the last episode came out right before the UDL Spring Open. You won that. Uh,
Yerp.
Jeez, these 2 months have gone by so quickly. But UDL season right around the corner, starting later this week. We got 3 streams. Special bonus stream happening to kick off this year. And obviously, biggest season we've ever had. We got 48 teams now.
48 teams, people.
I, I I don't think we're gonna continue at this pace and get 56 teams next year. I don't think we will. Oh gosh. Uh,
Knock on wood.
but yeah. My desk isn't even wood, but whatever. Uh,
Not that counts.
but yeah, no, I'm super excited to start to get back into the swing of things. And yeah, let's. You want to just hop right into it, or you got any other opening remarks?
No, absolutely. Like you said, I did win the UDL Spring Open. You might hear me say that at least 25 times throughout the course of the podcast this season, so look forward to that. The format for the pod this year, for those who maybe don't remember that episode from 2 months ago, the idea is we're going to be talking about the league as a whole to open up. So starting next week, that's going to come in the form of like a score recap. You know, there's 24 matches that happen in a week. It's so fucking crazy. 24 matches happen in a week at this point, and going to rattle off the scores of all those and, you know, who won and something notable that happened in all those. And then after that, we're going to have one segment for all 8 divisions. Maybe not doing like a super duper deep dive, but like, I don't know, maybe like a storyline to look out for in each division, something
Yeah.
like that. And then we're going to end with viewer questions. We both really liked the viewer questions last year, honestly. So
They were very fun.
if anything to encourage y'all to get some more stuff for the pod, because otherwise we're just going to talk about like, I don't know, just like whatever bullshit we think of, right? Like it's probably less likely than last year that we would cover meta stuff. I would say, you know, probably gonna just be talking about like team performances. So if you have questions about meta stuff or anything else, it's probably the spot to put it in. That's the idea there. So
Yeah. All right. Let's hop right into it now. Then, starting it off with the Vent division.
uh-huh.
These division names. It's gonna take me a while to get used to the new ones, but gosh, they're stupid, but they're so good. Uh, so the Vent division. This is definitely one of the more, I would say, kind of explosive divisions on paper. I don't
Before we
know.
start talking, Mike, let me
Oh.
for the audio listeners at home. In the vent division we have
Oh yes.
team names, logical endpoint of my sanity. That's H Kun. The pesky PDs. I don't know who that is
Giraffe.
yet. Giraffe. KJ's cool guys. That's KJ. KJ. First time back in a major Smash CPU thing since 2018. Really excited for that. Rey de Luchadores 9. Who is that?
ViewTech.
VTech. Shouts VTech. Smashers of Redemption.
Crimson.
Uh, is he saying he's redeeming last year?
I guess so. I don't know. His
Whatever.
team is themed around Red Dead Redemption 2. So
I see. Okay, understandable. And then Corey's uncle. I'm telling you right now, I'm looking at these like live. I didn't really pay attention because I was on my phone during the draft. Corey's uncle, might be number one in the team base
I
tier list. We'll see if I still
no
think that.
no I we're I think we're getting to the pretty clear number one next division,
Okay.
but
Okay.
yeah, I
What do you think about these teams, Mike?
it's I wrote down who I think are going to be my personal predictions on who are going to be the front runners in each division, and they're there's probably a good chance that at least half of them, if not more, are going to age very poorly. But guess what? That's the point. That's the point of doing the preseason episode. Uh, my personal picks for I guess the front runners in this division, like on paper, would probably be H Kuhn and Vivtek. You do have the reigning champ curse hanging over H Kuhn's head right now, where every year someone has won the playoffs, the next won the season, not the playoffs. Every year someone's won the championship, the next season they miss the playoffs. Uh, I do think there's a pretty good chance this is the first year that gets broken. I don't know, but we'll see. Vivtek, he also seems like he's due for just having a really strong season. He's gone 5-7 each of the last 2 years. But it's like each year you've looked at his team and it's like, how did this team end up 5-7? Could it be a coaching thing? Could it be just a couple of unfortunate breaks? I don't know. I feel like he's due to actually he has a very strong roster this year. Kind of went for the strategy of overloading with a bunch of high number picks and then just filling up the rest with $1 characters.
Right.
Which there's a few teams that did that this year. Leo's another one. Uh-oh's another one. Uh, but yeah, there's
So
also.
it's
Oh, you go.
to that point, Mike, with you bringing that up, I think it's pretty interesting because for the teams that I think were able to get that team, then you're in a pretty good spot. A lot of teams were not able to do that,
Mm-hmm.
and they ended up busting out and having money left over and being stuck with the filler character. But I think that's kind of like so many teams had success with that during the spring open because squad strike doesn't matter, which is funny because this year it actually might matter with
Mm-hmm.
so
Yeah.
many filler characters and so
Yeah.
many like everyone going $1. Like it might actually pay to have a serious squads team this year. We'll see. That's something that I'm very curious about.
Yeah.
If that's going to
This
change
year will
anything.
be a big like make or break. Uh, it'll be a very big make or break year for the is Squad Strike actually Mickey or not storyline, which has been going on these last couple years. Then the Vent Division, like I would say, this Crimson, Smet, and Giraffe are all wild cards here. Like Crimson, he's last year's the first year he didn't make the playoffs. Can he redeem himself like and live up to that Red Dead Redemption 2 name? Smet, it feels like he's due to have a strong season. He's actually never made the playoffs. Granted, half the years I don't think he actually really fully tried. Like he didn't really put in lineups, but even still, the 2 years that he has tried, like fully tried, been putting in lineups each week, he didn't make the playoffs. I don't know. Giraffe, a newcomer. I feel like he does have a pretty good amount of like Ultimate CPU experience though, so he does have some knowledge coming in. Isn't just a complete rookie. And I'm just gonna be real. I feel like KJ's probably gonna get stomped in this division if I'm being honest. uh, Random teams are usually good for getting like at least like one or two just wins they absolutely do not have no business, no right to win. But I feel like I think Corey and Akagi from last year might have warped our perceptions of these random teams a bit. From being in like a bit of weaker divisions overall
Right.
for both of
Yeah.
them. And like for KJ here, and I would say Corey and Ridley. I know, kind of jumping ahead to next division a bit. I feel like they're gonna have a rougher time this year, but we'll see. We'll see.
Man, this guy Vivtech is running out the pit and dark pit doubles team. I just caught that. That's interesting. Um, I mean, I'm guessing. What else are you doing with pit? He's already got Steve in Final Smash, so he has to be doing pit dark pit and doubles. That's interesting. Smet just got just like Smet always picks the previous year's All Star team. Like, look at this shit. He's got
I
Falcon,
know.
Pac-Man, Sonic, Pichu, Toon Link,
I know
and Wolf.
we were talking about like there's a good with him being last pick. There was a good chance of him not getting Falcon, but he ended up getting Falcon, and I actually think he wasn't even the last Falcon pick either. I might be wrong though. He might have been the last one. It draft was still pretty long, even with the
Look out for
automation.
Pichu. Look out for that Pichu pick. That guy might still be good. Low
Yeah.
key. That might be a bust, like we picked Pitt last year, but that could be good.
Uh,
Okay, Fish Division.
going on the Fish division. All right. I can read off the team names real quick. We got Phony Ball with Soul, a very fitting name.
Yeah.
Uh,
$18 in cap space to work with.
you got the Pokey Pals with Ridley, the Short Order Gemini Hero, the Frizza Donkeys, Corey 2016, returning with the same
Of
team name
course.
from last year. My and I know a lot of other people's personal pick for the number one team name this year, Bricked Up on the Cross.
Yeah, who the fuck is
User
that?
who he might repeat. He might repeat the number one team name.
That's funny.
And then the Iced River Sailors, aka the IRS, which is ice.
That's stupid.
Yeah.
Dude, the IRS, that's threatening as fuck, though. I can't even lie.
It is. Okay.
Oh, man.
We first thing I wrote down in my notes, we might have let a division be a little too stacked still. Oops. uh this one is, I know we talked about random teams maybe having a bit of a tougher time, but like both Ridley and Corey, like they have characters that are pretty well equipped for random teams. And I still am agreeing with what I just said earlier. I'm not going to try to contradict myself within 5 minutes of saying that I think the random teams are definitely going to have a tougher time this year. But like these are two random teams that like you still have to like be prepared for them. I would say, like especially more than other ones. Uh, Personally, I think the front runners in this division, if I had to pick one person, I probably would say Ice. But then again, same thing happens with Ice every year, where he just starts off poorly for whatever reason.
Famous second half team.
Yeah. Yeah.
Um,
It's like
I Ridley has a chance to like really not do good
mhm.
this year if he's fully random. Like this division is kind of crazy.
Yeah. I
Soul, that guy hasn't even made any trades yet, dude. Is he gonna
no.
go like 1-11?
That's what that I know, right? That's what I'm like. Like, in next one of my notes, I literally
Well,
said,
that's a developing story,
yeah,
obviously.
I literally just said verbatim, what is Soul even gonna do this season? Like, I don't. This dude has so much cap space to work with, but is he actually gonna do something with it, or is it because he said the reason why he took all of these lower value characters is he wanted to see how well he could do with a team that's like ridiculously cheap like this.
Right.
But I do think he feels kind of guilty after the chaos he kind of started to cause with the lesser amount of $1 and $2 characters that
Right.
be out there. So I don't know what he's gonna do. Yeah, it's gonna be really interesting. I think it's set up perfectly for him versus VTech week one. Like the storylines already are amazing heading to
It's
that
so good.
matchup, but like even more so now. It's like you have the money ball aspect of, all right, let's get into these advanced metrics. Let's get into this algorithm-based team versus the Moneyball
Yeah.
aspect of we have no money.
It's hilarious, dude. If teams are gonna be this the problem, right? So every team is gonna be putting out their best lineup against him because you cannot lose this team.
Yes, I know.
with $18 cap space, you
On
cannot lose to that.
on draft night when the schedule was first revealed, I literally like checked my schedule to make sure to remember that. Okay, whew, I'm not playing Soul this year.
Right? Yeah, seriously. Mark that shit on your fucking calendar,
But
man.
yeah, the two other people we haven't really talked about that much. User is kind of also in that category of a lot of people who, uh, they've been in UDL for a while now and haven't really had that success. Like they've been like kind of a borderline team for a while, but haven't had that much success. I do think this year is probably going to be the year I'm hoping this year is the year he finally breaks through, because back to back 6 and 6 years, like these last years, that's rough. Of it barely missing the playoffs, especially
Yeah, it
with
looks
him.
like he's you go first.
Especially with the main reason him missing the playoffs ended up being, well, it's obviously like he had 6 losses, but like he was Kamazatz's only win last year.
He choked. Yeah, he choked. No question about it. Yeah. Yeah, I would be shocked if he doesn't do better.
Yeah. Which
Um,
also another really interesting storyline. He plays Kamazot's week 2 this year, so he gets the run back there
10-0?
potentially.
10-0 watch?
But yeah, that's
He's running out Marth, Dark Pit, and doubles, it looks like.
which
They're
we saw from the testing tourneys from that VTech ran that team. That
just
team is
cracked as fuck.
very good.
He's got Wolf and Richter for stamina. FS, I'm guessing he's putting Rob out there. He also has Ganondorf.
Ganon actually did
Um,
really well in FS meter testing tourneys.
yeah. Well, he goes across the screen, which automatically means he's broken, right? So makes sense. Marth goes across the screen too. People forget Marth and FS. That meme kind of died. Let's bring that back. 2025. Um, Gemini Hero, want to just talk about him for a second because
Yeah,
his team gimmick was only short kings on his team. Uh, this team might be a threat, low key. Like, look at this. He's got fucking Lucas, Pikachu, Kirby.
that
Pikachu's
is.
still pretty good stamina, by the way.
He
Kirby,
is.
Mega Man, Young Link, Bowser
I'm
Jr.
actually
and
just
FS.
seeing this team for like really looking at his roster for the first time now. This is a threatening roster. It's kind of
Yeah, it
it's
is.
kind of it's kind of reminiscent of. It's giving me a lot of the same vibes as Orchid's roster from
Orchid last year, exactly.
Yeah.
That's what I thought too.
So it's like it's the rook with the rookies in UDL. It's always like obviously like no duh the person who has had like no prior experience is gonna be like the biggest question marks. But like especially in a league like UDL, it's like are these are these people gonna know how to use their rosters well and stuff like that? Because if they do, then it's just like, well, if you're a rookie, it's not like being a rookie in a sport where it's like, oh man, experience actually does really matter a ton.
Right.
Like with like the CPU type of stuff, it's like if you know where to put your guys, you can have success immediately.
Yeah. Let's just learn the counter picking meta. If man, that's another story. Is the Ked Masters meta gonna come back with everyone having fucking filler characters? And just throwing, try to win the other four.
Oh
Just
man.
saying, if it gets to that, counterpicking matters a lot more. This was kind of the goal of the salary cap, people.
Check.
Suit
We're
division.
back to peak.
Let me talk about these teams here. We got
Uh,
God, I don't know what color
I
codes to what. We got
oh
God and Anime.
that's yeah. I'm sorry. I color coded the temporary color coded the rosters. This is the yellow.
Okay,
uh,
got it. God and
that's
Anime.
Omar Gosh.
Oh my gosh. 9-3 Locket. Uh
Flowering Forgotten Flames is Koishi.
Koishi.
Jehovah's Fitness is
Koishi's always
Tribal.
got fire names. Jehovah's Fitnesses? That's insane.
Yeah, that's also yeah. Uh, Lao
Now
God
got my
Balls
balls.
is Weeb.
That's stupid.
TK's Big Banana
It's
Bonanza is Mr. Wiggles, and
Mr.
Base
Wiggles, of
Opinions
course.
returning
Base
from last year's
Opinions.
Base.
Is he done base opinions every year?
No, like he started that last year.
Man.
It's
Iconic name, man.
it's a good name. It's a very good team name. Yeah, this division. I feel like at first
Tribal's
glance,
so right that We Fit Trader is broken. Like, I'm so glad we're on the same wavelength with this.
+4 character. +4 character costs $4 now.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's. I think at first glance with this division, I feel like you gotta say Koishi and Tribal are the favorites. Like the two teams who have historically had the most success by far between within this group. Each of them having a trip to top 4 in the last 2 years. It's I it's not guaranteed it's gonna come down to those two, but like their match in week 11, that's gotta be one that's very likely gonna be circled like big time and like art like I know a lot can happen in 11 weeks, but that's a pretty strong candidate for like a main card match already or main event even. But again, like I said with User and VTech before, Weeb has won a division in the past. Granted, it was all the way back in 2020. I Weeb has a very scary
Fans
team
have been
this year.
hungry since then, Mike.
I know, but he fields almost the same team, like the same team almost every year. At least the last 2 years, and the last 3 years, counting this year, his team's been like almost the exact same. But
Just the
this
most
year,
frustrating team to be a fan of. Just straight mid.
but this year, it's looking a lot different because normally this character is pretty far down in his auto drafts and he hasn't been able to get them. But this year with the salary cap, he finally got Aegis.
Okay.
Is that the piece he needed? Is that the piece he needs to finally put it all together? We'll see.
Developing story.
Because I mean,
Man.
Aegis is like I know. I think it. Again, this is one I'm hoping doesn't age poorly. But I mean, it does. The general consensus is that there are still pretty clear top tiers in stamina because that's been the most like polarizing event of the last few
Yeah.
years. But this year definitely does seem more. The top tiers and stamina definitely do seem more balanced than previous years. But Aegis definitely is looking like the number one character in stamina right now. So again, not unbeatable. They have had their very
Yeah.
fair share of questionable losses in the past, but
Yeah, fingers crossed it's more balanced. If Aegis is packing an 80% win rate, like the big three last year, I think we just got to throw that mode in the dumpster and try again.
honestly, yeah, there's yeah. Oh boy.
Baymax division, we
Oh, wait.
got put them on pack watch. That's sickest.
Yep.
Do you sorry, did you have anything for soup? Was I cutting you off?
No, you're good. I was also
Okay,
just pointing out Mr. Wiggles real quick. Fan favorite last couple years. He's always good for like one or two
absolutely.
really good upsets, but he can never really fully put it together. I'm hoping he can finally put it together this year and make some like make some magic happen late in the season. Sorry, now we're good for the Baymax division.
No, the DK Diddy team is one of
Iconic.
those iconic
Yeah.
iconic UDL teams. You do not want to run into that.
Mm-hmm.
You get clipped on.
Even though they
Yeah.
were the ones who got clipped for the combo of the
They
year
got clipped
year.
last year. That's
Yeah,
true. Yeah.
but
Crom taken in round 8 by Mr. Wiggles. That guy's like literally fucking should be banned to -4 in FS. So broken. All right. Baymax division. We got put him on pack watch, which that has to be sickest.
that's sickest.
That sounds like him. New England style clam nog.
That's bling.
My local said local bling lich. Smeton
V.
returning
Yep.
returning name classic from V. Jacob's Ladder. I don't know who this is.
JMP. That's the most recent team name change.
Okay. Jacob with a K. And one goal bet. Is that a Kagi?
That's a Kagi. I know he doesn't have a Mario theme name team this year, which is crazy.
Wow. Gen 1 goal bet. Okay.
Spoiler alert: his victory theme is literally just the 2-second soundbite of Golbat's cry, and that's it.
Stupid. And then Arizona Almighty, another classic.
Arizona Almighty, like the one team that I feel like can't really be penalized on the team name tier list for having like a returning team name because of the whole.
No,
post.
it's good.
No, almost it's a good team name, but also because of the whole post that Tep had last year at the end of it after he lost. I need to.
Yeah, the Arizona Almighty had to return after that. He brought back like literally the same squad too. He's got Doc, Snake, Bowser, Falco. I think the rest of these guys are all different, but those are the 4 that matter.
Yeah,
Those are the big hitters.
this division. Oh, you go.
Didn't bring back Byleth.
That's
Sorry,
true.
you go.
Yeah, I guess I remember. Yeah, Tep did say one of his goals that he wanted to bring back as many characters as possible, and he did get most of them. This division, I feel like could end up like the 1 through 6 order could end like in almost any order, and I wouldn't be shocked. Like this is one where there's a lot of Smash CPU like mainstays in here, but a lot of them haven't really seen UDL success yet. Like Bling, like JMP, V, and like Akagi and Tapu. Actually, Tep
V
made
when he tries.
yeah. I mean, Tep made the playoffs back in 2020, but last year was the first year. Like since then, he actually had a good amount of success. So this is an explosive division, like just like the Vent one. It's I feel like Sickest and Tep having the most experience with winning, probably the favorites on paper, but yeah, this one's gonna be really interesting to see like if any of them can finally like put it, if any of those other guys can finally put a season together and make a deep run into the playoffs.
Pretty crazy. Lots of threats in there. Okay, now moving on to the P conference. Oh yeah, didn't say B conference at first. Whatever. We had the B conference and the P conference in memoriam
Of BP.
BP not entering the league this year because he didn't want to pay attention to his team. Honestly, I don't blame him. I kind of
I don't
don't
either.
either. I tested so much, and for what? To go fucking 7-5. Fuck out of here. All right. The true division. Now
True.
this is where the real ones are. We got Croak Smoke, folks. That's a Jaguar.
Yep.
Um, Jaguar has like all his guys you'd expect, basically.
Hmm.
Gunner, Greninja, Yoshi, Mewtwo, Sonic,
It's
Sword Fighter, Sephiroth.
not that surprising because like his teams are usually like just looking back, using the values that go back for previous years. His teams usually are under the cap. Or at least last year it was.
Right.
I probably need to look
Exactly.
more in depth for the years before that. But I know like last year his team like cost like, well, I guess no, it was still above the cap, but it was like lower than the average cost of teams last year. I think his team cost like 32 or 33. So yeah, it makes sense. Then yeah, ball in
Uh,
association with Jade.
Yeah, let me just run through the rest of the team names so we can talk about them.
My bad.
Coach Shade, Ball Association, like you said, another return from last year, 6 feet over. That's me. I'm doing the opposite of the Short Kings team. I'm doing all big boys. You know, I really believed in Tribal K's theorem of tall characters are broken, not heavies. We're doing tall characters because that's easier to actually make a team out of.
How?
Uh, so.
Wee woo alert. Roy is
Uh-huh.
apparently 5'3".
No. I could actually no. This is dead ass. I can make a video out of this if y'all don't believe me. I had a system to determine what my 6 foot cutoff was using like the training mode like blocks
Oh my
in there.
gosh, bro!
If you're saying
No,
that might be his height
bro,
in Fire Emblem, that's not his height in Super Smash Bros. Ultimate. All right, let's keep it a stack here. All right,
bro! All of ours
bro, 6 foot.
all of ours like canonically a few inches tall, but like he's like a block tall in that.
No. There's a very easy way to scale this. There's a very easy way to scale this. It's very understandable. You'll see.
All right,
You'll see.
fair enough.
That needs to be a video if y'all
Yeah,
don't
this
believe me.
is
Roy's tall in this game. Mike, are you saying Roy's not tall? He has great posture. Great posture, and if you count his sword, he holds it up where like the sword gives him extra height. Anyways.
oh my gosh, we're
He's got um anyways, my team's broken because I have Palutena and King Deity, and those guys should be banned. Uh, sorry, I thought we were supposed to talk about the teams here. The Sheikah Shadows, that's you, assumingly. Boom Incorporated, that's strong. That's Mini Squix. Good to see Mini Squix shown out more this year. That was
mhm,
I I asked this before. What year was that? Summer CPU 23
23.
or 22? 23 when he went insane with his PT, got him in the first round. So look out for that one. And Sunday Hero with the Sunday squad takes his DD in the first round and gets Ridley as well and Dark Samus. Those are like all the Sunday Hero characters I think of. So that's good to see.
Yeah,
Yeah. B conference and the P conference.
I
Division in the P conference.
I would. This one's also well. Okay, first of all, poor Jihu. Jihu's probably gonna get trampled here. Let's be real. Uh, but this division's also another one that I feel like it is. It's definitely approaching more of like a almost like a wide open. Like honestly, again, just based off prior success, I feel like the natural uh division favorites here would be you and Jaguar, but Jade was another team last year who I feel like record wasn't. I mean, team was the record fully didn't indicate how good his team was. That car bomb division was just full of tragedies. Honestly, just so many just teams with
Yeah.
like heartbreaking losses that allowed Corey to win it all. Corey to win that division.
Jade's team is pretty good.
Mm-hmm. And returning most of the, even though Jade did return their sign up from last year, they are going to be putting in lineups this year. They already put in the lineup for week 1 and stuff like that. Uh, Squix, someone again like you said, they've this year's the first one in a while, I think since 2023, that they have like been just showing up for Smash CPU stuff in general. Even if they don't sign up too much, they've been known to have a good amount of success within tourneys just in general, not even just summer CPU, just getting tourney wins or making deep runs in brackets. So
Yeah.
don't sleep on them. And Yakta Sunday, Sunday.
Artist formerly known as Yaku.
Yeah, yeah. Uh, Probably good that I say that just in case people don't know who that is. Uh, Honestly, one of the more underrated coaches all time in UDL. I mean,
Yeah, absolutely.
he's only been in 2 seasons, but I think he has a combined like 18-6 regular season record between the 2 seasons. He was the runner up of the first season back in 2020. Like this dude, I don't. It's mainly going to come down to how much he actually pays attention to the league or not. Uh, but
Yeah.
he has made the playoffs both years he's been in. Let's see if he continues that streak this season. It's going to be interesting. You got anything else about the true division?
Um. Well, obviously the biggest storyline here with me is Coach Izzy's not on the team anymore. Are there going to be
True.
will there be locker room drama continuing this year, or is that a thing of the past? We'll have to see once I'm 2-4 after week 6. All right, the pain division. Devious to Quavius, the gummy bears. Fuck yeah, dude. All I can think of that his theme song better be "I'm a gummy bear."
It
I'm
is.
a...
It is.
Yes. Yes, dude. I already love that. That's maybe not 9-3, but that's an 8-4 lock. Then that's too much aura for sure. The Adult Swim tunes, okay. Because yeah, it was Saturday morning cartoons last year. This Orchid, so that makes sense. I like that. That's like version 2.
Mm-hmm.
The Waffle House All Stars. Okay, I think that's the best team.
That one also I kind of slept on a lot until late, like until draft night, and I kind of realized, wait, that team is actually really fire. That's gold.
The Identity Merchants,
That's Leo.
who is okay. 7-6 and watch. That's because
Mm-hmm.
he's talking about that before. And Bayonet and the Patch Hearts, is that or Pack Hearts?
Pack Hearts. It'd probably be better if it was like
Oh, because of
hyphenated.
Pac-Man.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's Adrian.
Okay. Oh, and Pack Hearts, Black Hearts. Okay, I get it. I get it.
Yeah,
that actually is a good name. That was just me being stupid. Yeah. What my only thing I have to say. Look, AB had a fucking trash record last year, but let me tell you that team, like, once people were getting dropped and added, like, and you look at how that lineup looked near the end of the year. Oh boy, and like even just look at the results in the second half for that team. Like, this is a legit contender. Do not sleep on this team just because they were like 4th place or whatever it was. Like, do not sleep.
Yeah, well, one little quick thing: the 9-3 lock and your 8-4 lock will be playing each other in week 5 this next year. That's gonna be a hype match, between the
main event.
And more. Oh my gosh! Oh my gosh! Gosh, dang it! Yeah, this division is. Well, to start off with the brothers, DeQuavius and Gold. Those two, like, Gold has been a person that has been in UDL 3 years, has never seen much success at all. I don't think he's ever actually won more than 4 games in a season. But because he's usually a random lineup, those two are just going to be the chaos starters, I feel like, in this division. But literally, for the remaining 4 teams, I could very easily see all 4 of them winning. Like, this division. It's crazy. Kind of the same type of team as VTech, like I mentioned earlier. And Leo. Both of them kind of loading up on higher value picks. And then a lot of just like $2 and $1 shitters for the rest of it. Uh, Orchid's roster, I would say Orchid's roster. Wow, I can barely find it. Orchid's roster on paper, it doesn't feel as threatening as her roster last year. But then you look deeper and it's like, okay, you still got Shulk, you got Snake, you got the Samus Damus doubles
Yeah,
team
that's
potentially.
that's gonna that some teams are gonna have no answer for that. I'm telling you right now.
Mm-hmm.
People sleep on Samus because she's not as good as she was whenever that was, like 2022. But yeah, still, like, you have to have an actual answer, or you're just gonna get fucked.
Yeah. And then Adrian, like you said, yeah, this roster has a lot of hitters on it. Like the double, one of the only teams with a double, with two $6 characters with Pac-Man and Lucario. But then also like good value picks like Pika, potentially good value pick for stamina, Lucina for doubles. Young Link, we'll see if that guy. We haven't even talked about that guy yet. We were thinking about that guy being $6 originally, then he fell all the way to 4. Uh, we'll see how that guy does. Yeah, this division is going to be one to definitely look out for this season. I mean, all of them are, but like, you know what I mean. Like this one was one in particular. I would say this fish division and Baymax are the three like to really keep your eye on.
Leo, we got to keep in mind with this guy is he has that $2 Little Mac, but you already know that he's winning 7 games in singles, so like it doesn't even matter.
True.
So the rest of his team looks freaking stacked. Holy shit!
Yeah, he's
Damn. Yeah, but just throw Mac in singles, he's gonna win for no reason, and then the rest of the team's just all fucking top tiers. What the hell is this?
oh jeez. uh, then moving on to the Franklin division.
Franklin, yes. The Sea of Swords.
That's Wave.
Who's that? That's Wave. Okay. Wave. We'll talk. Let's get through the teams first. Tiny Mouse, Big Dreams. That's Theo.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Hoko's Heroes. That's you,
Hey, it's me.
right?
Hey, it's me.
Hey, it's me. Orange You Glad.
Corvette.
It's Corvette again. Yep. Vegeta's Pitas. So good. It's Curlin, of course, and Hardcore Parkour. That's another returner. Um, Theo, I'm quite interested in. That's another first year, but like someone who's been finding
Mm-hmm.
success just normally. So is this going to be, Pikachu just has fucking plot armor and wins every week, right? Because that's the thing about this UDL shit, right? You gotta find who has your plot armor for you. That's just Smash GPU in general, really.
Yeah.
But it gives you a big advantage when you have that. Wave, the Smash GPU Sportsbook, it's a really trendy pick right now to to have Wave make the playoffs after last year. He can't possibly be any worse than last year. He has to bounce back.
Jeez, I know. Yeah, that's him.
His luck's gonna catapult the exact opposite way. He goes 10-2.
Him, Smet, and I would say like a half step behind of User last year were like easily the three most like heartbreaking seasons. It was just brutal. Uh, he's definitely been a big pick to have a good bounce back year. I would say the three front runners for this division, yeah, I would say are the top three teams in that list: Wave, Theo, and myself. I feel like it's going to be a three-way race between the three of us. Uh, I don't know. Like, yeah, Theo. Again, like you said, he's a UDL rookie, but he also did have a fairly strong run at the Spring Open. I know the Spring Open
Yep.
isn't the exact same. Like people are going to be trying out
Because you
different
don't
teams,
need
stuff
to
like
you
that.
don't need to manage your bench, so it's
Yeah,
different.
yeah, but it's still like that is still showing that Theo does have a good grasp over like this
Yeah.
format in general. Krillin definitely gonna be the
You
biggest wild
already know
card.
what his team is.
Yes,
You already know what his team is. He's locked in the same lineup he's done the last 2 years,
he's
and he's gonna be in the playoff hunt.
yeah. Like I mean, yeah, exactly. Same team as last 2 years. I think I forgot to write this stat down, but I was like thinking about it the other day. I think he's one of only 6 teams to make the playoffs both of each of the last 2 seasons. Uh, I think the only other ones being you, BP, Ice, Sickest, and I can't remember the other one off the top of my head. I think Tribal actually. Uh, but yeah, it's all gonna mainly come down to how much is he going to pay attention to the league this year? Because he was one of the
Right.
teams that carried over a sign up mainly from last year, and like I said, you have your
Krillin known to start paying attention around week 11.
that is true. Like you have your Jades, like I said earlier, like Jade already has put in a lineup for week 1, stuff like that. But you also have like your Tungis and your potential Krillins of the world who have like they've carried over their signups from last year, and it seems like there's a decent chance they're not going to be paying attention. So I don't know. We'll see. Corvette, I feel like just being a random team with a filler character is just going to be brutal. uh, because that filler character can just get randomized into one of your first 4 events very easily, and it's
Yes.
just going to be
That's going to be bad.
yeah. And Parkour, someone again who hasn't really had much success in UDL. I think like 7-17 combined record between the last 2 years. I'm hoping he can finally see some success. Because again, I feel like he's one of those teams that he definitely gets like 1 or 2. He starts off decent each year, and then he kind of just falls off and just stops putting in lineups. I'm hoping he can turn it around this year. We'll see. Uh,
Yeah. Couple things I want to comment on. Wave. He's going a little bit of a throwback with FS. He's just going one trick ZSS and Final Smash, it looks like, and just locking that in all year. That's
yeah.
that type of strat's kind of fallen out of favor recently, but he's gonna bring it back. And honestly, like everyone has kind of a worse team now. So
Mm-hmm.
that might be a lot better than we're thinking right now. Like I didn't really occur to me until right now, but like unless you actually have a top tier answer to that, that might just be like easy wins, and people are gonna get really mad at this character.
Yeah.
We'll have to see.
There's a reason why we kept her at 3. There were some people who wanted to
Right.
bring her down to 2, but I think she's way too strong in FS for to be a 2. Also, Wave notably saying before the draft that he would not pick Byleth, and then ends up picking Byleth in round 2.
That's
never,
funny.
never change, Cooper. the,
Uh,
the tiger does
it,
not concern himself over reading the tourney description.
you, Mike. What's going on with this Almar thing, right? So my team, we lost a couple big hairs in free agency. We lost Coach Izzy, obviously. I came out with she had that 5 minute video about that. That's on the Smash CPU YouTube channel. You can watch it now. And then also Almar, obviously he's too short to be on the big guys team, right? So we let him go in free agency. He got fucking 10-year, $100 bajillion contract because he's best to ever do it. Ends up on your team. You've been running him out there in singles, and
Yes.
he looks broke as hell.
He does. It does. Obviously, I've not done any like full on testing with him in singles, but he does look like he does lose some definitely like very key and like notable matchups. Like uh relevant matchups. That's the word I'm looking for. But yeah, he. I don't know if that's gonna be a hot streak. He's definitely one of the characters that's kind of looks like a potential off-season champion. I'm I themed my team around him. I got faith in Olimar. I got faith in
Well,
the.
don't forget, Almar did get top 8 at Summer CPU 2024 when MaxSchersey picked him.
That is true. One of the main reasons why I honestly don't want to get too far into this, but like had that whole phase like about a month ago or so of making the catalog for ultimate results. So we don't have any which also did help out with making the salary cap in general. So we don't have any other instances where it's like say we had Link at $1, and then you had like BP coming in and saying, "Well, Link actually top 8 at a tournament, actually won a tournament back in 2022," and it's like, "Well, none of us knew that," and stuff like that. Like a lot of these characters we've been potentially sleeping on in singles and stuff like that. I'm feeling pretty good about Olimar. I'm feeling pretty good about my team overall, especially just like the recent Shulk pickup in free agency I just got. That guy's kind of busted. Uh, yeah, I'm feeling pretty good about my team and hoping to bounce back and make the playoffs after missing last year.
That the random stray at BP there. You know what? He's not in the league. Fuck it. Whatever. You have to join the league if you don't want to get random strays from Mike on the 5-0 podcast. All right, Lars division.
The irony is not lost on me about giving a BP a random stray before the season starts. Just keep
We
it
got
going.
the Zen Brens. It's probably Bren. The baby
Probably,
punching
yeah.
marathon. Now I would have guessed this was fucking Blake, but he's in another division already. Who is
This
this?
is Septo.
Septo. Okay.
BPM baby.
BPM. Yep. Evil Miku Goth Factory. This is Truck Mud, right?
Mm-hmm.
Is my guess. Philadutter. That's Tungi. Don Dolt returns.
Now more.
Famously went 11-1 in UDL Sim. That was up on my. Did I upload that to YouTube yet? I know
don't
it's on my
know.
Twitch.
I don't know.
I'll have to check after this.
It's
And
uh
Find Shit's Anonymous.
find
Who's done and dusty.
find shites anonymous. I don't know. That's not probably how I'm
Find
pronouncing it.
Shites. Sorry.
Don Do It, now more properly capitalized to make sure we don't pronounce it Don Dolt anymore, even though it's gonna be burned into all of our heads.
I'm saying Don Dolt. I don't give a fuck.
Don Dolt. Yeah, this division, it's I well, just to get that out of the way, I feel like sadly, I feel like Tungi and Kamazats are kind of gonna get beat up on within this division. Again, we'll see. Tungi, famously the guy who usually starts all the season really well and then just falls off a cliff towards the end of it. Kamazats, like you said, I mean, 1-11 in last season, but 11-1 in the one season of UDL Sim. Is this him regressing to the mean in the most psycho way possible? I don't know.
True.
Uh,
Like Patrick
Dusty,
Mahomes in reverse.
Dusty, I feel like is him and like Soul are probably like the two biggest like question marks in general throughout this whole league. Because Dusty, doesn't I think this is his first like event, Smash DPU event, or even just tourney in general.
Mm-hmm.
So I think it's actually only between him and Omar Gosh are the only two here.
Notably has Peach and Daisy. Is that the doubles team?
Maybe, yeah. Uh,
That's another character that's kind of fallen out of fashion in like the last year or two, but
I mean,
they're probably still good.
a lot of upside characters on Dusty's roster as well, and also $4 to spend as well in free agency,
Right.
if he decides to. Dusty also notably having his internet cut out for a few days now because of I think literal like rats chewing out his like cables or whatever. That sucks. But yeah,
Pour one out.
pour one out for Dusty. But yeah, it's because again on paper I feel like it's going to be a three-way arms race between Bren, Truckmud, and Septo. Septo, another rookie, but he's already seen a lot of success in Smash CPU in general.
Yeah, definitely.
Has a lot of another kind of like Jaguar, a lot of characters that are very like Septo characters.
Yeah, definitely.
We'll see how the race between those three go and how much of a mark Dusty can make. It's this is going to be just an interesting division. I mean, the nice thing about this, like I feel like obviously things can change, but like on paper, I definitely don't think you have like a car bomb division from last year where it's like a
No.
dumpster fire.
No. It doesn't look like it. Truckma did not get Lucario Pink.
Yeah,
That's actually a big loss in free agency, honestly.
yeah. It was
Replaced with Dark Pit. Okay.
It was one of her less lower picks in her draft preferences though, if I recall. So yeah.
Prom's still on the team. Okay.
Yeah, she did get a lot of returners. She did get at least a good amount of notable ones like Corin as well, Robin, Crom. But also a lot of characters that feel like, even though they weren't on the team last year, definitely feel like a Truck Mud character, like an Ensign or an Ices.
Definitely.
Yeah. So, yeah, I mean, we're not wrapping up the pod just yet, but that is the last division. You have any
So what's our viewer questions?
Oh, we're going right into viewer questions. All right.
Yeah.
Let's do it. Sorry, had to. We're bringing back the sound cue. We're bringing back the sound cue from last year. Gotta,
All right.
gotta put that in there. I almost forgot. So we only had one person submit viewer questions this week, but they submitted like 4 questions in one. So I think it worked out.
Okay.
And some of these I think we already answered. But I'll still list them all off anyways. Unsurprisingly, Wave is the one person to submit questions for the 5-0.
Number one 5-0 fan, Wave.
Yeah. It's like Wave and Uh-Oh are like 1 and 1A. What are the matches you look forward to in your own seasons? Which ones do you think will require the most prep time? I feel like this is a trap question for me because he's in my division. Do you think you'll fare okay in your division? Also, how are the vibes for your teams?
So yeah, just personal question. Well, I'm telling you right now, I'm going try hard as fuck against Ice and against you and
Yeah.
everyone else. I don't want to say like I don't care, but like I can't lose those.
Yeah.
And that's kind of where I'm at. And I would like to win the division, obviously. But
Mr.
you know,
Division coming back on top after the 1-year absence.
Yes. Coach Izzy's out of here. We'll win the division again.
For me, I'm just glad that my schedule isn't just murderer's row like it has been the last 2 years. Not to say there definitely aren't threats in my my season. Like, I mean, I'm immediately starting off against Truck Mud, who finished 3rd last year. But it's like each of the last 2 years, like 9 of the match, like at least like 6 or 7 of the matches I had in the regular season ended up being against playoff teams, and like 3 more matches after that ended up being against like 500 like borderline playoff teams, and it's just like, geez. And I mean, I guess that could happen again this year. A lot can happen over these 12 weeks, but it is nice to have just a bit more of a breather. There are also just some matchups this year that I haven't played it like these people yet, so it'll be exciting to actually play against them for the first time, like Weeb or Tungi, to take on the absolute just like threat that is Tungi. That I don't know, man. That dude just pulls off random.
You do not want to face that guy.
Yeah. So
facing Tribal for the first time this year.
Yeah,
I mean, that's like week 2, I think. It's like really early.
It is, yeah.
Yeah, that'll be fun.
Yeah, it's gonna be. I'm very excited for this year. Very excited for it. Again, the 5-0 rematch in week 4. That's like. Let's be real. It's very likely that's gonna be the main event this time. It was just last year. It happened in the absolute clusterfuck that was week 6. Where there was
this is the most stacked week ever.
Yeah, there was literally just like 6 matches that could have been like a main event in any other week in 1 week. But yeah, I already answered about how like the vibes I'm feeling are for my team. I guess not. I didn't necessarily say overall. I kind of said mostly about Olimar and Shulk, but I'm feeling. I do like my roster a lot this year. Again, I'm learning to live with the filler character. But I think I got a good blend of. I know I said in the beginning of the 2024 draft I wanted to get a good blend of returners and new characters. I ended up picking like 7 of the same 9 characters I had from the previous year. This year I actually do feel like I got a good blend of that. Like I got Yoshi, I got Kirby, 2 of my staples, and then I brought back Marth for the first time. First time using him in custom balance, but I used him back in 2022. But then a lot of like characters, like, I've used Ike in singles before, never in UDL though. Puff, I've used a bit in singles, never in UDL. Inkling's probably like one of the only ones. Inkling and Shulk are the 2 that are like I've never really used before that much at all. So yeah, I'm liking the vibes of the squad. I feel like, especially with picking up Shulk, I got a good amount of like at least a good amount of depth in all 4 of the main events. I'm feeling pretty good about it.
Yeah, I talked about this in the chat, but for my team, I think a lot of what I like about it, how it ended up. If I'm being honest, my picking pool was kind of small because I'm doing 6 feet over. And I was doing that because I just didn't. I didn't want to just fucking do testing on every single character like I did last year, like every character on every team and every free agent against like everyone that I'm facing that week. That's what I did, and I'm trying to actually do shit besides UDL this summer. Just put that as bluntly as possible. So to force myself to not do that, I limited the the guys that could be on my roster. Um, I would be pleasantly surprised if I made the playoffs, I guess. I think the team's pretty decent though. I'm not gonna lie. I think that I got some pieces that like you can't just throw out fucking Joe Chungus out against me, right? In the four modes, you got to actually have someone. Um, I also think this is like definitely the best depth that I've ever had. Um, by far since the bench got instated. In the last 2 years, that's really been my problem. 2022, the team was just stacked as hell because I didn't have to care about the bench. And then every week, it's like I was losing like a key piece, and the team was like so much worse when I had to like bench one of my top five guys. I really think that's not going to be a problem this year. Like I can sub in guys
Hmm.
pretty seamlessly,
Also,
which is a nice luxury.
you notably having the only Kazuya that was picked up in
Look
the
out for that guy in stamina. Y'all don't realize, like, my entire team Kazuya beat all nine of my guys in stamina last year. Like, I was shitting my pants hoping I didn't run into one. I'm just saying.
We'll see. We'll see. Any other questions? Do you think you'll fare okay in your division? We kind of answered that one already. Uh, yeah, that actually just might be it. This episode did not feel like nearly an hour at all. Jeez, this one went by quick.
We're gonna keep it shorter going forward,
Yeah,
aiming for like a half hour.
it's
It's not gonna be like super crazy long
knowing
all the
knowing
time.
knowing us too. It's probably gonna end up trailing a bit into like 40 minutes, a decent amount without us even realizing it. But yeah,
Sure.
gonna try to keep it shorter. Yeah. It's UDL season. We're here.
Yes. I am excited for Ultimate Draft League 2025.
I am also excited for Ultimate Draft League 2025. I can't wait to see all 48 teams compete and give their hearts all in every week throughout this summer in hopes of being the 18 teams, one of the 18 teams to make the postseason in August. Yes.
Who's going to have the first crash out? Someone send us that question next week. All right. Have a good
Gosh.
night, everyone.
Good night. See you guys then for UDL week 1.